Hello, welcome to the Weber Dojo. So today we will be talking about some stances, just reviewing the three fundamental stances, and then we'll do a Kihon drill later on. So for today, what I want to talk about is front stance, kiba-dachi, and back stance. And I want to discuss just a few things to keep in mind as you practice all of your training. Try to apply these points to your stances. So the first one let's talk about is the one that usually white belts learn first, is a kiba-dachi. So in a kiba-dachi, you separate your feet about 2 shoulder widths, and then you bend your knees. You want to make sure that the outside edges of your feet are straight, pointing to the front, and you bend your knees comfortably. Your tension in your legs should not be squeezing in or pushing out. Once you stabilize the position of your legs, there is an outward tension towards the stance, meaning you feel it here pushing out, but you don't want to allow that to move the position of your knee in any way. So fundamental stance is going to give you the most stability when you are performing your upper body techniques. You want to make sure that you feel a little bit of tension in your lower stomach. If you don't, maybe you need to bring your stance up a little bit. But you want to feel a slight tension in your lower stomach. This is what connects your lower body to your upper body techniques and allows the smooth transition from your feet, from your legs to your punch or block or whatever you're doing. So the next one let's talk about is your back stance. So in kokutsu-dachi, you're going to take your same position in your kiba-dachi. So let's get our kiba-dachi again. And you're going to keep your, let's say your back foot the same, your right foot in my case. And then you're going to rotate your front foot, in this case my left foot, rotate on the heel and move it point forward so that my toes are now pointing in this direction. So this would be considered the front of my stance. I'm moving over here, I'm at this angle so that you can see I'm using this blue mark on the ground. So we'll go over that in a moment. On your back stance, back foot, outside edge is straight. Front stance, outside edge is straight, but it's pointing in this direction. Again, this is an outward tension stance, so you don't move your knee position at all. You want to make sure that you have a feeling of your inner thighs pushing outwards. For your front leg, you want to make sure that you don't lock it. If you can see my leg is locked here, you want to unlock it and make it a little soft. You need to have a little bit of bend in there so that you can tense the muscles to help support your stance. Your back leg is bent as far as you can without your back heel coming up off the ground. Make sure that you keep your posture straight. Okay, then the next stance we're going to practice is going to be zenkutsu-dachi, front stance. So from a front stance, you want to make sure that this time both feet are pointing semi-forward, especially your front foot. In this case, it's my left leg. So my left foot outside edge is pointing straight, and my back foot is pointing not extremely correct forward, a little out to a 45-degree angle. And on this one, you bring your weight more on the front leg, so you bend the front knee a little bit more. In this one, you can turn your hip position in different directions. So whatever's comfortable for you right now. Make sure that you feel the earth underneath your feet in all of these stances. And for this one, you can push. You can really feel the energy of pushing off the back leg onto the front leg. Okay, so as far as your feet and your knees will always follow the direction of your feet. So if your feet are out, turned outside, your knees should also follow that path. You want it to go in the same direction as your toes. If you try something funny this way, if I'm in a back stance and I turn my hip this way, this causes a little bit of injury to my knee, a little undue strain, which could cause injury. So when you're doing a technique that requires that you turn your body, you want to make sure that you're turning your upper body, but you want to keep your lower body down into your stance. You want this feeling of pushing into the ground, making an indentation of your feet in the ground. So as far as those three fundamental stances, we can also talk about where your weight distribution is, and that's going to really help you distinguish what's one stance from another. So I've got some props here. You can use cones, here. You can use water bottles, whatever you have handy. So in a kiba-dachi, as you can see, my belt knot specifically, is over the middle cone. Then when I go to kokutsu-dachi, back stance, my belt moves to be over the back cone in this direction. Then when I make a front stance, my belt is even with this third cone. So when you're looking at the weight distribution, as was a question on one of our homework sheets, kiba-dachi here, weight is 50-50, 50% on each leg. When you move into a back stance, your weight distribution should be about 70% on your back leg, 30% on your front leg. When you move to a front stance, you want about 60% on your front leg, about 40% on your back leg. Okay, so we can use these props. We can also use some other props. So if you happen to have a tennis ball and a string, we're going to use the other Sensei Weber's, one of his props from an earlier training. So if you notice from here, it hangs lower. It gives me something to use as a guide. So in my kiba-dachi, I can keep here. Do you see how it's even with the middle cone? Then when I transition to a back stance, it moves to the back cone. So if you need help, you can look down and see where this center line where your belt knot is moving. And then on a front stance, you can see that it moves this way as well. So you can practice this. Once you have these positions, it's a good idea to hold them there. Don't get it and then stand up, because you'll lose where you are and you'll lose that feeling. You need to stay here to make your muscles memorize the position that you're trying to create. If you don't happen to have a tennis ball or string or ability to do that, I'm sure most of you probably have an old karate belt. So for here, we're going to use the same idea. We're just going to put your belt through. So my belt happens to be a little bit longer, the belt I'm wearing, but this will also give you the same feeling. So you want to use the longer part of the belt to give you an idea, because you can see your feet. So if we look at the same idea, we'll get into our kiba-dachi. I'm going to use these belt knots here, or these belt straps here. Back stance, close to the back, and then front stance, close to the front. Okay, so those are some ideas using some props. You may find that you have different kind of props at home. I want to encourage you to use them. And if you come up with a training idea that you can use to help your weight distribution of your stance, send these kind of things to us, especially maybe what I'm going to use next is the bow. Send them to us and we're happy to share them on our social media page. You can send pictures or short videos. So now what I want to talk about is mainly geared towards a front stance, and it's the hip position. So if you have a bow at home, if you happen to not have a bow, you can use a broom handle, something like that. Put it behind your back. You can grab a hold of your belt. You can make 2 draw hands, whichever is more comfortable for you. So this is considered shomen, and it's made easy by looking at the direction that you're creating with the bow. When you turn hanami, if you look, this changes as well. So this is 45-degree sideways hip, sometimes we'll call it. This 90 degrees or shomen. And then when you do katas such as in Heian Nidan, you have yaku hanami, which is reverse 45. And if you notice, I try to get my hip close to my front knee, and you notice that the bow changes position as well. Okay, so I recommend that you practice, even slowly, these different stances. You can practice one side then the other. You can keep the same stance, only practice front stance drills, only practice kiba-dachi drills or back stance drills as a way to improve your karate. Welcome back. For the next part of class, we're going to do a Kihon drill that adds practice for your zenkutsu-dachi along with punches, blocks, and even kicks for the advanced level.
I'm going to be facing the opposite direction to make it easier for some of you to follow along.
Okay, everybody put your left hand out, put your right hand on your hip. Left hand should be in a fist. So we're just going to practice punching in place. Ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rook. Okay, now I want you to concentrate on doing 3 punches at a time. I'll still count each punch, but we're going to do them in a set of 3. Ready? Ich, ni, san. Ich, ni, san. Ich, ni, san. One more time. Ich, ni, san. Okay, so now we're going to practice our stance along with this. So the first count is going to be punch in place, ich. Second count, you're going to step forward into zenkutsu-dachi and add short punch, face level's okay, or chudan, whichever you choose. Ni. Then next count is going to be counter punch in place, san, and then recover. So let's practice that 3 more times. First one in place, ich. Second one step, ni. Third one in place, san. Recover. Make sure that you're practicing bending your knees, going down and in, and back and up, as Sensei Golden always used to say. Ready? Ich, ni, san. Recover. One last time. Ich, ni, san. Recover. Okay, so now for the advanced level, on count number 2, I want to add another layer of difficulty. I want you to add a front kick with the stepping foot. So let me just do one as an example, and then we'll get back to this position. So you would punch, kick, punch. That's your second count, and then third count remains the same as a punch. All right, so let's try it. Ready? Let's practice 2 times. Ich, ni, san. Recover. If you are not adding the kick to the combination, make sure that you follow along with Sensei Weber. The advanced version is what I'm doing. One more time. Ich, ni, san, and back up. Okay, now let's practice this drill, regular speed or full speed, wherever you feel like you are in this, 2 times. I will only count 1. I want you to do the entire combination and recover back to here. Ready? Ich, ni, yummy. Okay, so relax for a second. So these drills, we're not doing a lot of reps. We're just showing you the idea and the ways that you can change it around a little bit so that you can practice more on your own. So now we're going to change it just a little bit. We're going to step back instead of stepping forward. All right, so left hand out, right hand on your hip. So for this one, we're going to practice 4 times, just the beginner or basic level. So I'll count each punch. Ich, you're going to step back with your right foot, punch with your left hand. Ni, san, and then recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Okay, so keep your left hand out. And now we're going to add a kick to the combination. So make sure that you kick with the stepping leg. So for the advanced level, it should look like this. 1, because you're going to step with your right foot. Kick, punch is the second count. Counter punch, then up. Let's try that 2 times. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, sorry, let's go back to here. That was only 2 times. Let's do speed now. I'll count 2 times. Make sure that you do the entire combination and recover back to here for each one. Ready? Ich, ni, and recover. Okay, relax. So we practice that forward stepping and backwards stepping. So now we're going to do this same idea using rising block. So you're going to start with your left hand out. Everybody kind of has the idea. So I'm not going to be doing a lot of explanation on the stepping and things like that. I'm just going to do more of the counting. I might remind you to do your rising block in the correct place. So let's practice it 4 times slow. Ready? Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Okay, so again, advanced level, we're going to add a front kick to the stepping foot, and that's going to be on count number 2. So you're going to do the step and the rising block. Let's practice that 2 times. I'll count each move. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. All right, so now let's go regular speed or full speed wherever you are in your development. Ready? Ich. One more time. Ni. And recover. Okay, let's continue on. We're going to step backwards this time. Ready? So each step back now. Ni. San. Recover. Ich. Ni. San. Recover. Ich. Ni. San. Recover. Ich. Ni. San. Recover. All right, black belts, you're going to add your kick to the stepping leg. Let's practice that 2 times. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Okay, now speed. Ready? Ich, recover. Ni, and recover. All right, relax for a second. Okay, let's continue on with the middle block. So put your left hand out and put your right hand on your hip. So we're going to substitute the middle block for the rising block. So let's count it. Let's practice it 4 times slowly, making sure that you understand what we're doing. Ready? Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Okay, so now advanced level, add front kick to count number 2. We'll practice 2 times. Ready? Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Okay, now speed, all 1 count. Ich, ni, and recover. Now we're going to step back and do the same idea. So let's go back to the basic version. Ich, step back, ni, san, recover. Let's practice that 3 more times. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Okay, now black belts, add a kick to your stepping leg. All right, ready? Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. All right, now speed. Ich, recover. Ich, I gotta think, and recover. All right, relax. All right, now, last one, we're gonna add, we're gonna replace the middle block with the down block. All right, so let's practice it basic level first. Left hand out, right hand on your hip. Ready? Ich, ni, san, recover. Practice 3 more times. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. One more time. Ich, ni, san, and recover. Okay, black belts, we're going to add your kick now 2 times. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. All right, now speed. Ich, ni, and recover. All right, let's go backwards. Let's do the basic version. Ich, step back, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. One last time. Ich, ni, san, recover. All right, down ranks, add your kick. Ich, ni, san, recover. Ich, ni, san, recover. All right, last one, speed. Ich, recover. Last technique, go. Up, and recover. All right, bow. All right, and relax. So practice those more on your own if you need it. Make sure you're practicing going down and in, back, then up. All right, have a good day.